Okay, so I was about to board a train, right? And Pikachu was there, but he wasn't moving. So to get on the train, I had to poke him on. And what was happening? No. Wait! No intro joke. Nothing like that. We're right into the video. This video's gonna be long as frick. You know what to expect? It's a self-explanatory video. Let's go! I truly am cursed. Hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. My favorite evolution tends to swipe a lot, but I do tend to slightly lean towards Vaporeon. Sometimes. We'll get to the other contenders soon. But the silly water doggo was also Kid Me's favorite. You put all the evolutions together, and Vaporeon easily stands out, with a more fish-like body and frill. But as someone who's always more likely to become a scaly than a furry, it instantly gravitated me to it. Water is also my second favorite type, as you'll soon fully grasp. In battle, Vaporeon is a good mix of bulk and being fairly speedy. You're not going to sweep me entirely forward with it, but I know that according to me, Vaporeon is the silliest little scrumpo. I will kill porn addicts. If I could pick one Pokemon to have of my own, I'd definitely pick Shedinja, and I'd show everyone the crack on its back as a joke, and I would carry on my little portal of buggy death, consuming the souls of millions. If I could have one Pokemon and also live at sea for some reason, it would definitely be Lapras. Lapras just makes me smile. Just a big tube of happiness that floats around. Ash had one, now that he's no longer a main character, we suddenly like him now. So that's epic! Just look at this little doofus. I really like that a lot of his deck entries say it's a very kind and gentle soul that will offer to ferry people around the ocean. I don't like that most dex entries will say it's near extinction. I like that Tumblr post said that they mass bred them to try and counter it, and their dex entries say it's actually thriving. I also had a massive interest in cryptozoology as a kid, which tended to surprise and or concern most people, and I don't know how to respond to it. And Lapras is a lake-nose monster, so that's cool. I feel like if you push hard enough, you can find someone who hates every Gen 1 Pokemon. Being the first gen, it's overall super rocky, and it's easy to grow contempt for these when both Game Freak and the internet won't shut up about them. There's one exception I've noticed though. Everyone's joining the Squirrel Squad. Squirrel's just a little guy. I think he's a perfect mix of cool and cute. He's very clearly a turtle, but has enough cartoony attributes that he's instantly recognizable. He's in Smash, he's freaking cute in it. Heck, he's just cute in general. I love the voice he tends to get in media. I love him freaking ripping Charmander to shreds. And he and Bulbasaur have a cute friendship in the anime. And again, Squirrel Squad. The sunglasses are raw. Bulbasaur is a cool building off of the original, and Blastoise is super raw and nearly took a spot himself. But I can't hold him in my hands and throw him up 50 feet in the air while saying you're a good boy. So he's lame. And I could do that because I'm super strong. But whatever. Squirtle! Oh frick, I can like non-water types. Okay, but enough what I said last segment. It seems like no one hits Gengar either. That's weird, right? Gengar is a very freaking Pokemon in media. He's on Ash's team, he's on Pokken, he has a Mega and a Dynamax. He's probably up there with Pikachu and Charizard as one with the most merchandise. And yet, his implicit design, that's still instantly iconic, deriving out of the dread it's popular so it sucks zone other Gen 1 mons have. Gengar is a true, whatever you want him to be, Pokemon. If you want him to be a violent, evil, malicious beast, then there's anime episodes and dex entries to support you. If you want him to be a loyal and kind soul, there's Ash's Gengar and stuff like Pokepark. And if you want him to be a silly little goofball prankster, there's that one anime episode, which is where I first met him and what I think first when I see Gengar. Well, that was my first experience with him. My first Pokemon game was Mystery Dungeon Blue, and thus I was first introduced to Gengar as big mean bully, who I initially hated, before finding out his actually pretty sad backstory on how he was just human just like me, who cursing and including a Pokemon you truly care for. And he may not have a soul, but he's forever in my heart. Just resting there, possessing me, rotting my core until I am but a husk of a man, eroding my being until I too am a ghost, forced to wander the lifeless halls we call Earth for eternity. But let's toy you this so it's worth it. I tricked you with Squirtle, didn't I? Listen, being able to eat a Pokemon in the air, pretty cool, but it's not what I want. I want to cuddle them like they're a dog. And I could be boring and go pick the actual dog, but they're not green, so they're lame. Now I gotta make things clear. I always loved Ivysaur. Yeah, I love Bulbasaur too, since he's a little cabbage boy, and Venusaur is epic since he's bladed out of his mind, but Ivysaur stood out to me because he's right in the middle of cool and cute. He always stuck out to me. And Smash made it even better, because he finally was given a spotlight. Sadly, the spotlight was too bright, and it burned him because they thought it would be a smart move to add a type effectiveness to the trio. Not realizing there's no water or grass moves, but a billion fire moves. So Ivysaur kind of gets ratioed, despite being fun to play. Ultimate fixes this, and he's back to being cool and epic, and I love him. Look at his victory animation. Why couldn't that be me? Are you sitting down? Socks fully attached to your feet? Voice at a reasonable decibel? They're staying that way. You all know what number 1 is. Alright guys, walk with me. But my favorite genuine Pokemon is Mewtwo. I know, right? It's so weird and wacky and unexpected. It's a choice no one ever does. Yeah, everyone loves Mewtwo, but for darn good reasons. The design is just instantly iconic. The best mix of animal, humanoid, and monster in the entire series. His backstory in the anime is just so heartbreaking, and since it was my first introduction to him, it really stuck with me. Ridiculously heartbreaking to see him deal with all of his friends dying before his eyes. And his heel-face turn, when he realizes that humanity is good, still really hits. Even if it's a bit cheesy, it's still shockingly poignant. This could be said by a famous inspirational figure, but it's said by a purple cat alien. I love the games carry this over, slowly hinting that he's still a treasure figure, even if I can't go all the way with it. Also, he's in Smash. That was hype. Y'all know it was hype. Shadow Ball Tennis should be an Olympic sport. Oh, and I like how in the first film, he and Mew have this weird relationship where Mew doesn't even realize he and Mewtwo hate each other, and he just kind of vibes. I like that it's just a random cat just listening to the grown dude's trauma dumping. I also really like its cute and simple design. I also really like how Porky Park's story was just basically Mew's giant test to make you become his friend. I like how cute he is in the Lucario movie and how he is genuinely heartbreaking near death. And I like how I'm tying Mewtwo and Mew at the top because who's gonna stop me? And this is where the Kanto segment ends. I should probably give honorable mentions here, so I'm going to. In the form of the Poke Rap. Pikachu, Articuno, Charizard, Nidoran, Jigglypuff, Snorlax, Tentacool, Dragonite, Aerodactyl, Kabutops, Omastar, Arcanine. Okay, right, next one. Ampharos will never make sense to me. It's like, supposed to be a sheep, I think. Pre-Evos are. And yeah, it's supposed to be shaved. Would you ever shaved a sheep and it's just a freaking pool floaty? Probably not. But that's what makes it special. It may be looking like an animal, but just looking off enough to be its own thing. I use it on 3 separate teams. It's one of those fairly early Pokemon that still massively help your team out. There's nothing in those eyes, but in its heart, there's love. A lot of Pokemon shown to be super intelligent. Usually the ones you'd expect. Supercomputers, legendaries, ones who put their all into being a brainiac. Then there's Slowking. Slowking always stuck with me. For some reason, him getting his head bitten causes him to get smarter. Which, yeah, sure, this is a world with living candlesticks. But I love that. A Pokemon usually shown to be super stupid just gets really intelligent. And this confirms he is in fact a smarty pants. I really like the one in the anime who's smart enough to talk. I love the doofy way he speaks while showing he's really smart and perceptive. Everyone is a genius. But if you judge a water type based on how well they can use Fly, well, there's like 40 water type Pokemon, so they're probably fine. I like Slowking. I'm a nerd who exists over kids' media while my dad played football. Despite that, I'm not as ignored by my parents as Raikou is the Pokemon Company. Entei gets a full movie, Suicune gets a full game and a spot in Pokken, Raikou gets left in the sun in a hot car for 3 hours as Game Freak takes the other two into McDonald's to play in the ball pit. Oh, but he got a special. Oh, cool. Well, it's not even connected to the main series, and he appears for a grand total of like 5 minutes. Epic. Every other time he gets acknowledged is because the other two get acknowledged as well. It's sad because Raikou is so freaking cool. His design is one of the most intricate of his era. I love how I managed to make him look both like a lightning cloud and a tiger. A saber-tooth like that, which is awesome. I love Ice Age. Almost wish I love Ice Age 2, and Ice Age 3, and Ice Age 4, and Ice Age 5. Look at this creature dead in the eye, tell you don't want to give him head scratchies, and then give him a little kiss on the forehead. Please respect my baby, Game Freak. I birthed him myself. I mean, who else but Quagsire? What's considered a popular Pokemon has changed a lot through the years, but I don't think anyone has had as much as a turnaround as this guy. When I was a kid, it seemed like Quagsire was just a Pokemon. No one loved him or no one hated him. He was just there. I, however, adored this creature. I picked up a Wooper in Diamond, and its bulk and wide moveset for the early Mon helped a ton, especially when I acquired the sire. Also, he's such a doofus. A cup of Play-Doh with a cat smile. It reminds me of this old children's book I really liked, and he reminds me of a friend, because I love him. Also, I was a dumb kid, so I was able to have a Pokemon that's flat out immune to electricity, made me feel like a god. Because I am! So the next one is... Sorry about that. So you know what I said about Quagsire go from just existing to being beloved? Yeah, that definitely applies here tenfold. Figure was a Pokemon no one cared about for a long time. Just one of many regional rodents. And everyone realized, oh frick, he's kind of adorable though. I want to wear him like a scarf. Not the stuff, just alive for it to call me when I'm down. And I'm a 24-year-old man with a failing YouTube channel, so I'm always down. There's nothing deep about Furret Man. He sucks in battle, he's done nothing notable in the anime, but he scampers around like this and he has this face, so he's my little Scribble Scrumble. Keep on walking, my guy. Keep on walking. Hi, so I'm stupid, I forgot to include Heracross, I've been being my freaking goat, so yeah, here's 7 for this region, and this region alone deal with it. Heracross is a perfect simple Pokemon. He's a big beetle. He has this smile, horned heart when they're female. Bugs don't usually look this huggable, but I love this thing. Easily the cutest giant bug I've ever seen. I especially love the one in the anime that's super clingy. I think this guy might have helped me get over my favorite bugs. How can you look at this ray of sunshine and dislike them? Genuinely. Why do I like this thing? There's no reason on Arceus' green earth this guy should be at the top. Crobat is ugly. He's overused on villain teams. He's pretty much forgotten by the company. You can definitely find better Pokemon to do his job. And again, he's really ugly. What is with his teeth in Battle Revolution? But guys, I don't care. When in doubt, I Crobat it out. With how common Zubats are in games, he makes an easy addition to any team I make. And he's fast and can hit hard. He won't win tourneys, but this ugly creature won my heart. My first interaction with Pokemon was someone literally giving me a card of this guy. So Crobat's always been there for me. You're ugly, you're overused, but you're my son, and I love you. Wait, is the song gonna be like every segment or Artillery, Houndoom, Swinub, Donphan, Politoed, Kingdra, Galava, Espeon, Umbreon, Skarmory, Suicune, Entei, Trantar, Ho-Ho. Flygon's a Waluigi of Pokemon. Every generation, people clamor for a new form or something for this guy. And every time, we give it to Meowth. It's sad because, well, his design is great. He could be a god. I love Flygon's look. The perfect mix between a bug and a dragon. Of course, being a dragon and a bug, ground type. I'll never get it, but he's instantly stand out. The mix of colors, the fun little eye goggles, he's such a little Shrimplo. In battle, he's great. He's not a pseudo-legendary, and you can get a Trampets fairly easily. And he tends to carry any team he's on. If only he got more love. I feel you, big boy. Genuine question. Does anyone hate Metagross? Pretty consistently, he always seems to be high on the list of people's favorites. His shiny is so universally considered the best that they even gave it away once. And his design is a perfect mix of simple yet stand out. You put 4 crane claw games together on a metallic pizza, and boom, you Metagross. I love that in Pokepark, every event has one Pokemon that dominates the event, and they're all legendaries. Except Metagross. He's that raw. Then there's the big thing. The reason Metagross will always stick with me. He looks like a railroad sign. I can't help myself. Like, come on, it's dead on. Babe, look, it's the Metagross! Stripe, a train is coming! Guys, I like Mudkips. Ah! I wish I could call Mudkip like a kitty. I want them to make a James Bond movie where the villain turns around and he's just petting a Mudkip and no one questions it. I like Pokemon where you look at them and you think, wow, there's nothing going on in there. Look at this render. Why is Blood doing that? In battle, well, he's unevolved, so he sucks. But Swampert is a great tank that carried me far in my Hoenn journey. Also, he's my surfing slave. A surf is a good move, so I feel no shame forcing my best friend to work for me for no pay. Back in like 2018, I started using the term like in the same way it's spelled in the Mudkip meme with my friend as a joke. But now, nearly a decade later, my phone still autocorrects back to that spelling occasionally. Butterfly effect, you claimed another victim. I'm named after gremlins and such one of my favorite characters. What I'm trying to say is Sableye on the list. Little bitey dude that just likes having fun and being silly. Is that what he's actually like? Probably not. But I did love the anime episode where he's just chilling out, eating jewelry. Me releasing my Sableye at a K Jewelers. I love how jittery he is in Pokepark and Battle Revolution. And that giant Cheshire Cat grin too. Again, it's like they took all the freaking creatures I love and put into one goblin. Hobson's goblin specifically. Cryptid. Again, still a Cryptid fan. What instead of the gems he has now, he had the Peridot gem? That would just be peak autism for me. Also, I love that Sableye is just so perfect. His Mega is just a big ruby. Because how else could you improve this correctly? It's spherical! You see, I was starving in the Alps one day, and then Spherical came down to me while I was freezing. He gave me a triple whopper to help my starvation. That's why he's number 2. It has nothing to do with him being super freaking cute, and I love his seal as an animal, and how squishy this plush is, and I love how he rolls around in the 3D games, and how he claps! I lied, it's because Walreine's a freaking beast, that's why he's here. So, do you know my favorite type's dragon? I haven't been showing it off very well. Here's the pool noodle. I have some nostalgic connection to this guy. My first experience with one of the games was at a friend's house where they were playing Emerald, and I saw a scene of him calming down Kyogre and Groudon. They never let me play and just had me watch. I saw their Game Boy so I could experience it. I am the Rayquaza breaking up the argument between a child and their game. Listen, there's not much deep to Rayquaza either. My favorite color is green. I like dragons. He looks like Mushu. Obviously he's great in battle. Like Bandit Turnies if he uses Mega Great in battle. I don't usually lead legendaries. But when I do, I get thrown out of Waffle House for letting my giant snake monster burn it down. This render is funny. His fight in Brawl was raw. He should have beaten Deoxys in the anime. And he's got a fun minigame, Poke Park. I realized that I really love Poke Park. Cock. Ludicolo, Breloom, Shedinja, Aggron, Kyogre, Groudon, Seviper, Armaldo, Grovyle, Zengoose. New rivals, as you fight for survival, nothing can stop you, Diamond and Pearl. Gen 4 is my generation. This is when I really got into the series. So this is the hardest one to do. I have a lot of connections to most of these guys. These are the games I played the most, the toys I bought, the ones I discussed with my friends, and where I started watching the anime. But that's one in particular why Croak makes it this high. You know me. Well, famous sex hater. So of course I'm going to admire it's essentially the cockblock Pokemon. Every time Brock's horny on main, there's my man there to stop it. Except that one time with Cynthia, because she's a queen and she gets a pass. He also just looks so doofy, man. I love the blank stare he has in combination with the bandages look. Plus he's a really cool and different take on Froggos. And I like frogs. But I hate people being horny more, so he's here. New rivals, as you fight for survival, nothing can stop you, Diamond and Pearl. I'm cheating! Listen, man, I don't care. I'm whooping all four of the creation frickers here. Arceus, the pronunciation was used officially, so shut up. It's the creator. The GOAT, if you will. I love the lore he brings in. How some games make him more benevolent or more violent. How he's actually fairly balanced fight bad. Yeah, he can be any type, but it balances out by him needing to hold a plate. The Arceus Gate is one of the most iconic bits of Pokemon iconography, and he gave birth to the Sillies. Palkia looks like a Willy. He's my two favorite types, but he's really my least favorite of the four. But I do like him. Dialga was a mascot of my first Pokemon main series game, so of course he means a lot to me. But he's a time traveler. Time is cool. Giratina though, if this is cheating for you, he can just be number 5. I love this giant, creepy, otherworldly centipede monster with 6 legs, 6 spikes, and 6 exposed rib cages, like El Diablo! And they look like they're constantly confused, and they hold shame delicately, and you can feed them cupcakes. Hello, baby. New rivals, as you fight for survival, nothing can stop you, Diamond and Pearl. With this being my first generation, of course all the discussion I had with my friends on the playground was about Gen 4. We didn't have Peekaboo or Missing No, but we did have one rumor. Everyone kept bringing up this weird house, these weird objects. They claimed to find a weird Pokemon there only. Even weirder? They were right. They had this weird Pokemon. Rotom. Rotom to me was an official creepypasta. The old chateau was always off to me. It's off the beaten path, there's a ghost that you can't interact with. Generally this wouldn't be out of place in a ROM hack. You go to a random TV, being jump scared with a creature I never saw before, they'll always stick with me. Rotom itself though, he's shockingly cute. Just a little round guy. His gimmick of possessing electronics, which always gives him new forms, is really cool and helps him be a natural fit to any team. Here's how I'd rank them. But to me, Rotom will always be uneasy. Past his cute exterior, is a creature that hung in my mind for the best reasons. New rivals, as you fight for survival, nothing can stop you, Diamond and Pearl. It's Lucario. Yeah, not much to say about this guy anymore, is there? Lucario's in every spin-off game. He's in Smash, he's got a movie, a Mega. He basically gave birth to an entire subspecies of furries. He's Goku, but Lucario does deserve his love. His design is instantly iconic. Really a great mix of ancient Egyptian influences and their own unique spin. Big reason he's here though, Goku, the movie. Pokemon films are usually pretty cheesy, but Lucario the Mystery Mew generally really works. You really balance Lucario as he tries to grasp why his trainer abandoned him for making the ultimate sacrifice. It's easy to call him overrated or ruined, real easy, but Lucario again really deserves his love. He's so cool. New rivals, as you fight for survival, nothing can stop you, Diamond and Pearl. For as long as I can remember, I loved Weavile. Everything about it is just pure perfection. Most dark types can be mangy and gross, but I love how regal Weavile looks. Feather hair, look of smugness that tells you you lost the second you challenged it. Imagine the Lucario movie. And while the sacrifice was great, what really stuck with me was, well, the Reggie but mostly the 2 Weaviles, and their silly antics. I love when Pokemon have their personality shown in full force. And Weavile gets that there, Poke Park, and of course Pokken, where I fully fell in love. Weavile is my main, of course. And not only can they rush in and hit hard and fast, They have such a fun personality, goading their opponents, slacking off, nuzzling the camera. I adore this weasel with all my heart, and he easily rises up all the way to my second favorite Pokemon of all time. Of course, you know what that means.
New rivals, as you fight for survival, nothing can stop you, Diamond and Pearl.
So, I really should update my channel banner, shouldn't I? You can do the math. My first game was Diamond. You gotta pick a starter. I like the color green and reptiles. Turtle Boy it is. From then on, Turtwig was my goat. I like that he's 70% head. It's simple, but it's so effective. He is so unbelievably cute. I do this little guy all the time, despite my lack of drawing skills. I have this very well-loved plush, and his mini arc at Poke Park is so cute. How everyone looks down on him since he's slow, but you, the player, are the one that helps him win the race minigame, proving he can do it. More inspirational than any Oscar-winning film. The big thing is, though, I don't even know who I like more between him and his evolutions. Yes, plural. Carl may be in the awkward middle stage syndrome, but I still love the dude. I love their slowly growing plants as they evolve. A sprout to a bush to a tree. And he looks like Spike from Land Before Time. That's Roggers. Torterra, of course, though, is the big boy. I had this magazine that had a special feature on Torterra, going into his backstory and the myth of the World Turtle that inspired him. That was so cool. It's how I found out about the original World Turtle myth. And then I went really crazy and tried to find the origin of all Pokemon beyond just being crabs or seals. In competitive, yeah, Torterra sucks. Objectively. He's slow. He's 4 times weak to ice. But guess what, Fricker? I don't do competitive. I have a plan. Attack. Torterra can hit hard and can take most things that aren't Ice Beam. So I just sit back and relax on my Turtle Boy as he tears apart the land like the god he is. He also apparently allows Pokemon to live on his back, and that's adorable. Bro's actually fighting the housing crisis. We're approaching nearly 2 decades of me adoring this thing. And no matter what, I always love these little churts. They are my children, and I would die for them. For 100, I think Brawl's better than all these guys. Electivire, Bamortar, Togekiss, Yamega, Leafeon, Magnezone, Rhyperior, Mismagius, Frostlass, Darkrai, Roserade, Gastrodon, Garchomp, Drapion, Glade, Porygon Z, Gliscor, Breezel.
It's always hard when the journey begins. Hard to find your way, hard to make new friends.
Hello everyone, it's me, the one guy that likes Reshiram and Zekrom. Ask me anything. Reshiram is fluffy and nice. Well, the Zekrom are probably stealing lunch money. It's a battle of truth versus ideals. And do judge tell you to swear to be a whole ideal? I don't know, all my core knowledge just comes from Better Call Saul. I of course got white too. Yes, to start with a sequel, don't question me. And yeah, I love this thing. Mostly just the design is the reason it's here, because it's a big fluffy dragon. I want to sleep on this thing, it's like a fluffy cloud pillow.
It's always hard when the journey begins. Hard to find your way, hard to make new friends.
Zoroark was done pretty dirty, all things considered. It was set up as the next Lucario, but it's the mix of the reception of Gen 5 initially, and bad timing for spin-offs. Zoroark got kind of left behind. Like, remember when people were convinced he was a lock for Smash 4, and the second Gen 6 got revealed, he got woodied? Sad, because it got a great design. The red and black really stick out, and make it look like a true villainous little nefarious ne'er-do-well. Combined with its Joker smile, it's a trickster, a shapeshifter, and got a wonderful ponytail the size of its body. That's positive, I think.
It's always hard when the journey begins. Hard to find your way, hard to make new friends.
Hiders are like the coolest thing ever made. Like, why have one dragon when you can have infinite dragon? Tanks are also rad. Now what if they made love? Hydreigon is so freaking cool. I love this big, dark, evil, violent, used by the main villain, cruel, fricked up creature, who has Muppets for hands. His wings are really unique. They aren't even connected together. They feel like we could just snap them easily. But they add to his intimidation with looking so dark and inhumane. He's the doofiest little destroyer worlds ever made.
It's always hard when the journey begins. Hard to find your way, hard to make new friends.
Do I need to add anything else? Oshawott Star is arguably the fan favorite of the trio. People suddenly start saying he's ugly. They're cowards. He's just my little guy. Otters are among my favorite creatures. And like, he's built like an ice cream cone. How can you not love it? I love how in anime he's just a massive brat. Like, I'd pun him, but I do it lovingly.
It's always hard when the journey begins. Hard to find your way, hard to make new friends.
A lot can change in 14 years. A big one. Remember when Chandelure was universally seen as the worst Pokemon? I mean, maybe not as bad as Vanillish or Garbodor, but he was pretty consistently pointed out as a game for running out of ideas. But that's missing how Chandelure is a really clever idea. Based on Will-O-the-Wisps, Chandelure has actually a really haunting lore of tricking innocents and burning their soul while leaving the body. I don't know how he does that. I feel like if you set someone on a flame, you should kill him entirely. But hey, I'm not gonna question him here.
It's always hard when the journey begins. Hard to find your way, hard to make new friends.
In most cases, I don't think I'd like Vertical Rona as much as I do. It's just a building up of little things that combine into making a banger. Gameplay-wise, there's another pretty strong Pokemon you can get fairly easily, helping a lot with my White 2 run, learning a ton of varied and powerful moves. Design-wise, you get the perfect design mix of elegant and cool. Its kind of static sprite of it barely moving looks intimidating. Alongside the soulless bug eyes and giant piercing wings. But then you see it's kind of doing the silly bug pose, and that's cute. What really does it for me is its lore. Similar to Rotom, it's not legendary, it's still treated as special, being locked into a certain area and having been seemingly treated as deity in ancient times. It's understandable why. I think that Volcarona is actually a very benevolent creature, willing to replace the very sun, and was literally born to just save people from sheer cold. Everything came together for Volcarona, and that's what makes it Ipookie. I miss my wife. Scolipede, Woobat, Snivy, Emboar, Escadrille, Garantula, Kyurem, Zekrom, Haxorus, Braviary, Crustle, Sandile, Ferrothorn, Electros, Gigalith. Be the best of the best, someday you're destined for power and glory. Hawlucha is the absolute rawest waste potential I've ever seen. His design is so cool. He has a unique move that has 2 types. He can be so much. He either got sent to the Shadow Realm and replaced with a different wrestler. He looks so cool, man. A great mix of bird and costume. Even if he's got balls, he isn't the strongest Pokemon. But Gen 6 is super easy to, so that means that I can carry him to the end. No, but why does he got balls though? Be the best of the best. Someday you're destined for power and glory. Guys, I have a confession to make to you all. Vaporeon is not my favorite evolution. I can do better. I will be better. Sylveon is cute and my baby. The flesh ribbons, those big ol' eyes, and it's also shockingly good in battle. They were the big push for fairy types, so they were made pretty good overall. It was decent bulk and special attack. I don't have to go back and forth between them and Vaporeon, but I can say I like Sylveon without people think less of me, so they get the nod. Be the best of the best. Someday you're destined for power and glory. When deciding what version of the game you should get, the main deciding factor is legendary. The version of exclusive Pokemon shouldn't be overlooked. The biggest version for me was getting Y, not because I like Yveltal, though I do, it's just a good bonus, but instead because it had Dragology. When you think of a poison dragon, you probably think of a big slime monster, or a dragon that breathes poison instead of fire. Making it a seahorse, or a sea dragon, is a pretty clever idea. I named mine the Sniper, and Buddy, he kills people. While built like a twig, he's shockingly bulky, able to withstand attacks and poison all his opponents. The design is also really cool. One of the more simple recent designs. But like a little hat that kind of resembles Sniper's hat again, and he's built like the number 3. Epic! Be the best of the best. Someday you're destined for power and glory. So all the Pokemon that made the top 6 for this generation were the ones I used in my initial team. Besides one. Rest in piss, Pyroar. Anyways, I didn't use Noivern on my initial team, but that doesn't make him any less based. A Bat Dragon is such an obvious design that I'm shocked it took us this long to get one. Noivern's really stand out on that field. I love the giant speakers that he has similar to Pumbloom. The little scruff and fur on him is really cute, and I think his colors work really well together, which in my opinion some later Pokemon really don't. In battle he's another moves fast and hits hard fricker. In other words, he's good. Bro's built like a pancake and he's got a brutal snoot, so he's my buddy. Be the best of the best. Someday you're destined for power and glory. Did I mention I like dragon types? No shade to Amoris, but like, oh my freaking god, freaking dinosaur! How could you not love Tyrantrum? We've flirted with T-Rex Pokemon in the past. They finally gave us the most T-Rex of all the T-Rexes. Tyrant is a little guy, and I love his little bratty wannabe king personality the Dex gives him. Tyrantrum is the true king. He hits like a truck and single-handedly carried my team. Getting a dragon this early just broke the game more than it already was. He's the true king, and was my favorite for a good time. But eventually, he got overthrown. What could have possibly beaten him? Exactly what you'd expect. Be the best of the best. Someday you're destined for power and glory. Yeah, it's Greninja. Of freaking course it's Greninja. It's a boring choice. But genuinely, I'm gonna sound like the biggest hipster of all time, but I liked Greninja before it was cool. When the stars were revealed, I instantly fell in love with Froakie. It's a frog and I love frogs. Problem is, everyone was Team Fennekin. I walk a lonely road. All I've got with me is a toad. Then the Eel was revealed. And Delphox was, let's say, mixed, while Greninja actually wasn't universally loved yet. People wanted something more whimsical and elegant, and we got this. But I loved it. I was in a Ninja Turtle phase. So Ninja Frog instantly sold me. I stuck by this guy thick and thin, and had him as a dark horse hope for Smash. I figured they'd return to Mewtwo, but more likely. or again, Zoroark. But then I actually got the dude and I cemented his place on here. Oh, and he's the mascot of my friend Cyanide. So yeah, the new number 1 is Slurpuff. If I do any of these in one take, I assume I just made a deal with a Dark God. Pyro, Aegislash, Yveltal, Goodra, Avalugg, Pangoro, Trevenant. Baby, don't hurt me. Yeah, I like a round bowl. It had to be said. Making a Yeti crab that's actually a Yeti crab is actually really clever. And yeah, he looks a little ugly, but he's the crab boxer monster. He has that pug appeal. Ice fighting is pretty unique typing. That helps really stand out in battle. Obviously, Crabala is great too. The boxer crab is a great look. But yeah, I think Roundville is rad. Also, why did the late 2016 just love coconut crab so much? I usually stick by my initial pick for a starter, but Gen 7 was tough. All 3 were pretty equally cute to me, so I didn't know who to choose. Then we got the next Evos. Brionne was cute enough, and Dartrix sucks, but Torracat looks really cool. Perfect mid-Evo. It looks like they were setting up a really cool saber-toothed tiger or something. We got Hulk Hogan. I like Incineroar fine enough, but it was probably my least favorite of the 3. I still really like Torracat though. So with Litten. Incineroar certainly isn't a bad Pokemon. Animal starters are pretty good, but I do question the alternate reality where I picked out of 2. There wasn't anything that really made me love Incineroar. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a 2018 fighting game. Yeah, Incin getting into Smash really made me love the guy. Not only do I just love heavyweights, but his cheeky, small personality is displayed amazingly. I love this dude. Compounded with how the dex makes him look like a vile villain on stage, but a big soft underneath it. Also, Cockfire. Guzma is the coolest dude in Pokemon. That means his ace Pokemon must also be raw. And Gliscopod delivers. I don't think you need to chase down his pre-evo before you can fully fight it. It makes it feel special. Wimpod kind of has a Magikarp thing going by, of being pathetic at first. But while he may be a wimp before Anchor Arms, now he's a jerk, and everyone loves him. Bugwater ain't exactly his original typing, but it's a pretty good one. It kind of up to his weaknesses. And Gliscopod makes great use of its signature attack, First Impression. It does ton damage on its first turn. Its ability emergency exit, it pulls it out of the fight. While which occasionally annoying, can be strategically used. Also, isopods are cool. If you read animal people decided to love and meme on after Sloth and Blobfish, but before Axolotls, and seeing them taken in such a raw way, I so positively love it. This gen, we kicked off the trend of having new forms of old Pokemon every generation. All of the forms were kind of a mixed bag. Some cool, some lame, especially lame when they're all Gen 1. But I'll give them this. They did finally remember Pikachu can evolve. Of everything directly related to the mascot, Alolan Raichu is the best. Oh, why don't we just make Raichu a blob? And gets power by eating pancakes? I mean, it sucks that he hates waffles. And he gets to surf. Reference to an old anime episode. Also, he reminds me of Stitch. Anything around me of Stitch is instantly on the list. Alolan Raichu is funny because he is tall. I like that he's tall. He's a big boy. That just saved me back in 2016. And he's still peak comedy. And I bought his plush and he's big and has a high ground. I love his animation and he's stupid and dumb and his tail is adorable and he's S tier, baby! Mimikyu is far from my original pick for a top spot. But I can't lie, man. I love this thing so much. It's another one of those, you get what you want out of it kind of Pokemon. You want to be a sad, pitiable Pokemon? Well, its backstory of being neglected or just wanting to be loved, leading to dressing as Pikachu in hopes of getting attention definitely works. If you want something cute, well, just look at it. Or the interactions with my favorite Pokemon trainer after Cynthia, Acerola, my little baby. If you want to be awesome, check out the anime, where it's just pure rage and hatred of Pikachu, causes it to be the one competent part of Team Rocket. And if you want scary, he's got dex entries of how it curses people on a complete accident if you look under its cloak. Again, it's a boring answer, but it's the correct one. Acerola loves it, and she's silly, so Mimikyu is epic. I prefer Digimon, honestly. Palostan, Pygmewtwo, Lunala, Guzzlord, Buzzwole, Rowlet, Popplio, Lycanroc, Alolan Sandslash, Type Null, Drampa, Minior, Turtonator, Tapu Koko. I'll be honest, I think Gen 8 is the weakest overall in terms of Pokemon. There's definitely some gems, but even the good ones probably wouldn't rank super high if they were translated to another gen. That being said, I had an interesting relationship with this one. I never intended to use Sandaconda. I just needed to fill Pokemon for a bit before I added a real monster to my team. But Sandaconda really pulled its weight, taking out several gyms on its own, becoming the clear MVP for my team, solidifying a spot on my team and this list. I also really like his design. It's really silly. Just a tied up snake with a gun for a nose. but I love goofy ideas like that. It reminds me of Cough and Jungle Book without Boar, or that one scene from Shrek. Anything I can compare to Shrek makes this list. I said the same thing about Stitch. Oh god, this video is so freaking long. I did a video on chameleons 4 years ago and discussed Sobble, so I don't really have much to add. Chameleons are my favorite animal. Water's my favorite starter type, and I'm also depressed. Dribble is lame, and Teleon took a lot of getting used to, but I like them, I guess. They're silly. It is I, the chameleon! Cloudpost is like a little dollop of jelly. He's just a tiny creature, and I love him. The color scheme is just really appealing to me. I think it's based off of the blue ring octopus, which ranks super high unless I think I want to hug, they'll probably kill me. The evolution grapple lock did wonders on my team. Not as much as Sanaconda, but I like his design more. The idea of making an octopus wrestler who has a belt be a tentacle is super cool. Guys, if you couldn't tell me from my channel name, I like cephalopods. That's it. Why is he not water? Electricity is pretty high up on this Pokemon no one seems to hate. It's such an original concept. This weird poisonous newt that also a guitar player. A great double reference, both to some newts being poisonous and how toxic metal fans are. He has two forms. There's nothing different between the two, it's just a fun thing that makes him stand out. And it's what I use, by the way. I always thought Pokemon wearing human clothes was pretty stinky, but they make it work with the spikes being normal lizard things. They have scales, it works. It's so unbelievably original. And it makes him poggers. In fact, everyone loves him. And I'm not immune to peer pressure. We all had an animal we wanted a Pokemon based on. For most people it was dolphins, and we got one, and people immediately did not care. But I always wanted a Roadrunner. Yes, a reason the exact ones you'd expect. It was inevitable. I was expecting to come from the lightning turkey though. While I like Zapdos well enough, I thought it looked pretty derpy honestly. Articuno for a win. But Zapdos is a meat fricker now, so I love him. That's literally it. I was just happy to get a Roadrunner. I like how Faye looks, it's silly, he's silly. If you think the reasons why he's this high are nothing burger, just wait till you see the top spot. Appleton. It's Appleton. It was a long day. The longest day of my life. 25 of us went in there. Only I made it out alive. Gunshots all around. My eyes were going dark. But, right before I fell, Appleton descended from the heavens and shot his Appleton beam, winning the war for us all. Also, he's cute and I like his eyes are hidden and I designed to hold him gently like a hamburger. Listen, out of every number one, he's my least favorite. But look at this creature. He's insanely stripe-coded. My team in Gen 8 had this theme where I named them all after villains, and he was an important part of that. We had Randall, Ridley, Mohawk, Ka, and DJ Arcavio. What villain did I name Appleton after? It's a vile thing I could think of. Steve Jobs. So why is it called a flea market though? Dracovish, Hatterene, Centosaurus, Dragapult, Wooloo, Snom, Dreadnought, Cramorant, Morgrim. We start us off with the lamest one. Hey, you know how I like cephalopods? Yeah, here's Toadstool. This thing just mentally breaks me whenever I see it. Why does he run like that? Like, this feels like a made-up meme Pokemon. Its official art looks like a SpongeBob scene, and it's plush. It's plush. But that makes me just love this freaking thing. Like, this was allowed. This is real. He's just standing there. Menacingly. Yeah, making that Tentacool learns to live among the plants is a cool idea. And Toadstool is a really funny Evo, but Toadstool is a little quirky, so they're here instead. The mascot legendaries for this gen are pretty easily fleshed out of any region. We have them the entire game, even if you can't use them for most of it, but it helps attach you to them. I had Scarlet, so Koraidon gets a nod. It's definitely the stronger of the two. He's far more expressive than his future counterpart. It's a tongue. Also, it's pretty clear Miraidon was made first, and it's easy to incorporate all of this weird things into a robot. How can you make a caveman swim and fly? Oh, he just does, and he has weird ear flaps. That's because he's awesome. It's just so funny. My silly lad deserves all the sandwiches. I really like Donphan. Gen 2 had a lot of competition, so maybe missed the cut. But he's just a big friend. But what if it was Dinosaur? Yeah! Great Tusk doesn't give me much to say. Honestly, he's the only Pokemon in this entire list I've never used. But who cares when he looks like this? I just think he's super cool. Everything else is irrelevant. I didn't know him being a totem Pokemon in my first run, so seeing this giant fricker just jumping around caught me completely off guard. Also, like, he's cool. What do you want from me? You want a freaking novel when a giant elf dinosaur is rad? Get out of here! The final starter Pokemon means a lot for this list. These are the Pokemon you start with, the ones people most heavily connect to this generation. For an entire generation of people, this will be their first Pokemon. So, how do you start it off greatly? Easy. Gator. I fell in love with Fuecoco Frame 1. There's just nothing going on in there. I love that it's clearly a gator, but also just blob. So much personality in this little creature. Look at its big dumb tooth, Angel. Usually I hate when evolution is barely changed, but it's just getting its sombrero and nothing else is just too funny to hate. And Skeledirge is a fantastic evolution. I love the bird on her nose with the walkway, and then she just summons a freaking microphone of fire when singing. She's truly spitting fire. But that's nothing compared to my little baby and a slice of cheese stuck to his stomach. Slithering is Volcarona as a dinosaur. This made the top 2? What? No! Yeah, there's nothing really to add here. What if they took my favorite ugly Mothra Fricker and made it Floofy? Yeah, it's good in battle. No, I don't care. Look how it stands. You see, he's a wee in the business called Large. If you could get these things earlier and it had a name that had more than 3 seconds of effort put into it, then instant top spot. But instead, Fluffy Boy must settle for number 2. This is it. The final Pokemon on the list. I need to end this on high notes. Really cap off this gigantic list properly. Clodsire. Look, y'all know he was going to be on here the second I put Quagsire on the Gen 2 list. I love this thing so much that I intentionally over-delivered it just because I love using it so much. I love it's always smiling whenever you see it, but the second you get into battle, it's got the angry eyes. It's literally just a freaking blob with legs, but dang, you can fit so much love into this creature. I want to say there's some deep reason why he's this high, but nah. Stinky Poo Poo Mudfish is cute. I love him. This video's not scripted, I'm just that guy. Earthworm, Graveyard, Anali, Dondozo, Tatsugiri, Rochen, Walking Wake. There's like 80 Pokemon on this list that include the full evolution lies and ties, but they would all just be enough to beat the Lions on their own. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, no, no, come on, no, I said it, I know what I said. No, fight me. Well, there's a blue line. Yeah, I actually created the freaking universe. Yeah, okay, yeah, fight me, end me, do it, end me.
Lots of people saw what you did out there, and all of them are watching you right now.